So in last class, what we have discussed? We have discussed about JavaScript. What is JavaScript? JavaScripts are a business logic where it can be validated, where the business rule will execute at the client side. Okay. What is client side? In your local machine, in your browser, the function will execute. The validations will execute. Right. So we have the validation, out of the box validation, business rule. So having business rule, why we need to use JavaScript? Business rule will only work on entity fields and that to these actions. Hide and not these function. Um, what business rule will do? Business will hide or show a field, lock or unlock the field, set default value, show error message, set recommendation, then requirement level, optional to required to optional. This action we can perform using business rule. But if we want to extend the our business logic, if I want to hide a tab, if I want to hide a section, or if I want to show some alert, if I want to set some notification, so then our business rule will not be suitable. That's where we will be using JavaScript. Okay. So Java, what is the JavaScript? JavaScript will have the business logic in a function. Every function will have a business logic. We will register this function to execute this piece of code. What is that function? Function name, and then open your function, close, and in between this we have to write our business logic. How we will write the code, JavaScript code? Microsoft have xrm.page framework. So everything we will get from xrm.page. xrm.page.get attribute .get value. Get attribute will have to we have to pass this field logical name. How we will get? Either we will get it from the form properties, or if we have this tool, this level up tool, we can use this. Click on logical names, then all the field logical name will be displayed. For example, if I access the contact entity, if I want to get this field logical name, I'll simply click on this level up. Under forms, click on logical names. I'll get this logical name. I'll paste it in our JavaScript code. Okay. So get value will get the value inside this field. Set value will set this value inside this field. Okay. So we have written two functions, right? One to set an email and one to hide a section based on the condition. In these two functions we have discussed. Why I told xrm.page? xrm.page is Microsoft is deprecating xrm.page. As of now, it's still support in the CRM. In future, Microsoft will stop this. Then our all the lines wherever we use xrm.page will not work. Then what is the alternative for xrm.page? So the alternative is form context. I have shared this blog with you. If you see here, yeah, in this blog we have some examples like using xrm.page, but it is a deprecated client API. using form context replacement of client API. So xrm.page is, as of now, it is supporting, it's working, but in future it may deprecate. Once it deprecate, wherever we use xrm.page, it will throw an error. So wherever we use xrm.page, for example, if you see this will disable lock or unlock the field. What is the code? xrm.page.get control field name set disable true. Same code. Wherever we use xrm.page, replace with form context. Form context, get control is get control, set disable is set disable. Everything is same. Even if I show you on the tabs, yeah, if you see here, hiding section, xrm.page.ui.tabs. Instead of xrm.page, we have to use form context. From UI, it will be the same code. Then how we will work on this form context, we'll explain. So for this function, I will create another copy. First, we need to pass execution context. From this execution context, we have to get the form context. How? Where get form context card. You need to read this form context, set this form context from execution context dot get form context. This is a static code. Okay. Now this function is taking a parameter execution context, and we are reading form context from execution context. And we can use this XRM form context wherever we use xrm.page. That's it. For this function also, I will create another copy. Same execution context. Pass it in your function. Create a variable form context and read that execution context that get form context. And wherever we use xrm.page, we have to replace with form context. Now what we'll do, we'll try to register entities, contact, forms, contact for interactive that we are working. Okay, conform properties. Open the script. So here we have used this xrm.page. I will replace this two function with below two functions. Copy. Paste. Okay. Okay. Now we have to pass the execution context. So on form load, we have registered this function hide related sections. Okay, this function taking one parameter. Here it was not taking any parameter. So we simply registered that. Now if you see here, this function taking execution context as a parameter. How you need to pass? There is a checkbox called pass execution context as a first parameter. Click OK. Okay. Then we have first name, last name, on save, right? Form On save. On save, we are setting an email. Now, in old set email doesn't take any parameter. The replace code taking one parameter. Pass. Save. Publish. Now we'll just refresh and verify whether the code is working or not. Refresh. Okay, I will enter the first name and last name. Yes. Then I will change the account name because we are hiding and showing one of the tab where account name contains data, then tab will be up visible. So I will select any data here. Now we are getting script error. Let's see what is the script error. Cannot read. Now if you see, if I download this log file, now just read it. Type error. Cannot read properties of undefined. Something is undefined. Reading get from context. What is this? Let's go to form property. When this script error is triggering on whenever we change this field, right? If I remove, I'm getting this error. If I select any value, I'm getting this error. So there is something on this field chain. Let's check it out. What is that field? Account name. Yeah, there is a function hide related section. Why it is not working? Can anybody guess?
Past execution of session.
Yeah, because on load on save we changed. On change of this field we haven't updated this. Now let's update, save, publish. Now let's refresh. I like that best one. This field I will update. Now I can see this section. If I remove, the section is hidden. The code is working fine. Why we got this error? Because we are using form context instead of xrm.page. If we use xrm.page, then we no need to pass this execution context. We no need to read the form context from execution context, because we are directly using the xrm.page. Now, since Microsoft is going to deprecate the xrm.page, we are using form context. How to get the form context? Wherever you are registering the function, you have to check that box, pass execution context as a first parameter. Then this execution context will be, we will get it from the form properties, and we will get the form context from this execution context. I mean, this get form context will stored in this variable. We will use this variable wherever we are using xrm page. Okay, let me know if it is clear. The reason I told I have started with xrm.page, then I modified, because initially we used to work with the xrm.page. Now this is still working, it's supporting, but once it deprecate, it won't work. So in interview, you will get a question: what are the deprecated functionality in JavaScript in CRM? So you need to know how this xrm.page was using, the people were how the people were using, and what is the replacement of this xrm.page, and how we need to tackle this execution form context with the xrm.page. We have to pass the execution context. From this execution context, we will read the get form context. We will store it in one variable. See, it is not required to give this form context similar. I can give f context also. It is up to us. Whatever we use here, same to be replaced wherever we have xrm.page. Let me know if it is clear. I will remove this code as well.
Yes, sir.
Same functions, whatever we have discussed in our previous class, same function. But the thing is, we are using xrm.page initially. Now we replaced with form context. Now we
So
have,
this program, once written, it is stored in solution itself, sir.
yeah, solution itself.
Suppose when we want, we can retrieve the same program, and we can use it for next this thing.
Yeah. I will show you that as well. In solution, go to solution. So we are updating the code, right? So the code indirectly will update the web resource. If I open this web resource, you can see the contact JavaScript. I will get it from the solution. Copy. I'll open this diff checker. So this is the code in the solution. This is the code that we have updated in the JavaScript. If I compare these two files, you see two files are identical. Everything is same. What we have in the solution, what we have updated.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have used the these functions to hide a section. Now I will give you one requirement. Accordingly, the we can hide the tabs. Okay. So the requirement is, whenever I click new, it's a new form. In this new form, I should only see summary tab. I don't want to see this tab, detail and tab. This is a tab, detail is a tab is a tab, summary is a tab. When I click new, I should see only summary tab. Once I save the record, Once I, sorry, once I save this record, then I need to, once I save the record, then I need to see the detail tab and tabs tab. Requirement is clear. By default, when I click new, I should not see these two tabs, only I should see summary. Once the record is saved, then these two tabs should be visible. Now tell me, as usual, function name, see, F capital here. We should not use F capital. F is a small letter. Hide tabs for new form. Same execution context. Function open and close. Here, the first line is same. Now tell me what I need to get. How to identify whether it is a new form or updated form. This is updated form because the record is already created. Now it is a new form. How to identify? There is something called form type. Get form type. Okay. What we will get in the form type, if you see these values, get form type will give one value. What I'll do, var form type is equals to, how we will use this form context dot, what we have, ui dot get form type. Okay, just copy this. Now form context dot ui dot get form type will give one value. That value can be anything. If it is a, once we click on new form, this value will be given by given something. If we open existing form, this value will be a different thing. Now here we will get one value. What value? What are the different values we have? See here. If this code gives the value as 0, then it is an undefined form. When it returns a value 1, then it is a create form. When it returns a 2, then it is an update form. Now tell me, what is the value that we need to check? This code will, sorry, which is the value?
1.
1. Correct.
We are creating new form.
Yeah. So condition is, if whatever we get here form type is equals to 1, it is a 1, then it is a create form. Then what we need to do, we need to hide a tabs. What tabs we need to hide? This. How to get the logical name of the tab? Click on logical names, summary tab, details tab, conflicts tab. Okay, so what is the code to hide a tab? We have already written this till here. Form context.ui.tabs.get. Which tab? Tab schema name. Here details.tab. Copy, paste, dot set visible. Set visible to, we need to show or hide. It is a form type 1 create form, then what we need to do?
True.
Hide. Hide means false.
True.
Set visible true. It will display the field. Set visible false. It will hide the field. We'll use the same line. I will change the different tab, that is conflicts tab. Okay. So this is the condition. What is, if form type is create form, that is value 1, then hide this tab, hide this tab. Else else show, right? True.
That visible as true.
Now we will update this code. Okay. So in real time, what we will do, we will not every time go to form properties. I will tell you. I will, as of now, I'll just publish it from the form properties. Then I will tell you how to use the XRM toolbox. I have updated the code. Click OK. Now when I need to execute my function, this,
Whenever creating a new form.
which means on load of the form. So we need to register the function on form load. So open the form, click on form properties. We'll just check whether the script is updated or not. Right, we have this. So on load, just add another function name. And next thing what we need to do, make sure to check this box. Click OK. OK. Save. Publish. Okay, it's published. Let's refresh and verify. Refresh. Now if you see, it's a new form. Can you see these tabs? The details tab and tab. No, right? If I open the existing record, can you see now? If I click new, can you see? If I create any record in this form, save, then we can see. On load of the create form, new form is hidden. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
It's simple, right? We are reusing the code. We just need to know how to change the code. We will get this templates, how to change the code, where to register and how to register. That's it. Now, I will give another requirement. Okay. So if you see this contact method, if the contact method is any, then let it be. If contact method is email, then email should be mandatory. When contact method is phone, phone should be a mobile phone should be mandatory. When contact method is fax, fax should be mandatory. Clear the requirement? When contact method is any, don't do anything. When it is email, make the email field mandatory. If it is phone, make the mobile phone mandatory. If it is fax, make the fax field mandatory. Now tell me, function make field mandatory, function name, same code, execution context. Under this code. Okay. Now what we need to get? I need to get the value in this field. Correct? When contact method is, I need to check the selected contact method is email, phone, or fax. So how to get this field value? We know, right? Form contact method form context dot get attribute. What we need to pass here? We need to pass this schema name of the preferred contact method and get value or condition. If contact method is email, if contact method is fax, if contact method is mobile. So here form context dot get attribute dot set required level. We need to, if we want to make the field required, we need to pass required. If we need to make optional, set the value as none. Which field for email? Email address. I'll copy this same code, paste it here, paste it here. Here I need to pass mobile number, remove, get the mobile number, replace. Remove this email address. It's a fax. Okay. Now let's see how we will get error. Why we will get error? You will come to know. I will register this function. This is the field. We need to execute the code when the contact method is field. If we select any value, then we need to trigger our function. Let's refresh. Okay. Now if I change to email, I'm getting this error. Email is not defined. If I change to phone, getting error. If I change to fax, getting error. If I change to any other value, getting error. Why? We have written the correct code, right?
Do you pass from context as first parameter?
Form context, we are getting. See, if I this function is working. If I copy, search, find next, this is same. We have copied here. We use the same here. The reason is it is saying email is undefined. See, click on email. Email is not defined. Where we are using this email? Here. If I change to mobile phone, here it's showing email is not defined. Okay. Why it is? The reason is when we use get value for normal fields, single line text, multiple line text, uh, any currencies, date time, and floating number, decimal number, we will get whatever value we will get inside, we will get the value. But for option set, two options, lookup, we will not be getting the value that is displaying. Try to understand. Here it is a single line text. Here it is a single line text. Whatever value we will enter, we will be getting the value using get value function. This. For option set, two options, lookup. We will not get the value that is we have selected. See, we have selected phone here. Email. We will not be getting this email. So what we will be getting? We will get the option set value. If you remember, every option set will have a value. See, contact method. If I go to change properties, if I go to this, edit this field, this is option set. Any value is 1. Email value is 2. Phone value is 3. Fax value is 4. Mail value is 5. So when we use get value for the option set field, we will be getting this value. We will not get the label name, we will get the value. So now we need to replace the change our code. How we need to change? If you want to get this option set value, simple click on the level up, click on show option set values. So select the field. See, you are looking for this field. Now email. Email value is 2. Change the wherever if you are validating email to mobile 3. Fax 4. 4. Now let's publish this code. Now let's refresh. Now fax is optional field. I will select fax. It became mandatory. If I select email, email became mandatory. If I select phone, phone became mandatory. Clear? Now we are not getting any errors because we have updated the code with the correct value. Now if you see here, when I click new, if I change, as of now mobile number is optional, fax is optional, email is optional, and I change to phone, phone is mandatory. Change to fax, fax is mandatory, but mobile number should be optional, should turn to optional. It's not working. If I select mail, mail should be a email, mail should be optional, fax and mobile number should be optional. Whenever it is email, email should be required, other two fields should be optional. Then what, tell me the reason. If it is to email, only this email address should be mandatory. This field, copy, this this field, this field should be optional. Instead of required, I will pass none here. When mobile number is mandatory, then email and fax, last one, fax should be optional. Change the required level to none. And fax is mandatory, email should not be mandatory, mobile number should not be mandatory. Change it to none. Now let's update this code. Update the code. Okay. Paste. Okay. Click OK. Save. Publish. It's updated. Let's refresh. Okay, if it is any, nothing is mandatory. Mobile number is optional, fax is optional, email is optional. Now if I change to email, only email is mandatory, mobile and fax is optional. If I change to phone, only phone becomes mandatory, fax, email is optional. When I change it to fax, only fax is mandatory, mobile and email is not mandatory. Because we have written for every condition to make only the respective field mandatory, other fields as optional. Here email address is required, other two are optional. Here mobile phone is required, other two are optional. Here facts is required, other two are optional.